Hello, Eagle Nation. Welcome to the inaugural edition of Eye on the Eagles. My name is Shawn, the Director of Athletics at Avila University, and this is our new weekly show that catches you up on the Eagle athletic programs and allows you to get to know our coaches and players. This week, we'll catch up with volleyball head coach Eric Majors, who will recap us on our opening weekend at the William Penn Wendy's Classic, our women's soccer head coach Katie LaForge, and men's head coach Stephen Hoffman, who will update us on their opening KCAC matches this past Saturday at Bethany College. First up this week, though, is 2012 Avila alum and head football coach Marc Benavidez. The Avila football team opens up the 2020 season this Saturday in North Newton, Kansas, against Bethel College, in which will be a top 25 matchup of NAIA programs. Coach, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
So, Marc, you're entering your third year as a head coach. How has the program changed in your 3 years?
I think really one of the biggest changes over the last 3 years is going to be our players' expectations and standards. I'll be one of the first to admit that as a player and assistant coach, really in my career, really not a whole lot of success in terms of wins and losses, which wins and losses aren't what completely defines success. But over the last 3 years, our guys are expecting to win games, expecting to try to compete for a conference championship, and then just knowing that all of our guys really have that same mindset and same team goals has really been one of the biggest changes.
Okay. What does the KCAC look like this 2020 season?
It's going to be diverse and interesting. Last couple of years, Kansas Wesleyan really ran the table each time, and looking across the board, at least on paper, the conference as a whole, very, very even playing field, and there's going to be a lot of question marks, and a lot of teams had some different recruits they had signed, different people might have returned. So it's going to be very interesting seeing how the season progresses and where everybody's at.
Heading into this season, what will the strengths of the Avila football team be?
I think we got a couple of key strengths that should help us or set us apart from other programs. One's going to be our athleticism. Looking at some of the guys we've been able to bring in and guys we've retained. Like for an example, All-American Christian Hopkins being a senior coming in. We've got some really fast guys. And just even looking at our special teams program, so kickoff, punt, kickoff return, punt return, all of them. We've just got a lot of speed everywhere, which is very exciting for us. And then really the other thing on top of that is, I think with the amount of time we've had to prepare for this season, we're a little bit more experienced, especially in the offensive side of the ball with a lot of returners coming back. And so knowing that we're in a position to where we can put a lot more on the table schematically with some of these guys is definitely exciting. With that being said, too, defensively, this is the first time we've had a defensive coordinator for 2 straight years since I've been here as a coach. And so it's going to be very exciting knowing those guys kind of already have a little bit of a defensive scheme under their belt as well.
Is there truth to the rumor that we will attempt a field goal this year?
It's going to happen. We're going to attempt a field goal at some point in time.
Marc, it's interesting. People don't really understand what a football player goes throughout the year. Can you explain, just walk us through game week, what these student athletes go through?
Yeah, it's quite a bit, and we're actually talking as we have guys lifting right now on Labor Day. So on a typical week for us, go ahead and start on a Monday. Us as coaches, we have to spend the entire day game planning. I myself been here since 5:30 this morning watching film. But from a player's perspective, we want to give Monday, as their day off. And so if somebody has to work a job, which we have guys that work jobs, or if they have labs, we try to encourage them to do those on Mondays. We have a lot of guys that do study hall on Mondays. So our players, essentially from a football standpoint, that's going to be their complete day off. Tuesdays, we'll start lifting at 6 o'clock in the morning, different groups. And then we'll have meetings at some point in time, either in the morning or in the afternoon, depending on the position. We'll have a 2-hour-long practice, 4 to 6. Wednesdays, the same thing, lifting for the guys that didn't lift on Tuesdays. Some type of meeting in the morning, practice again, 4 to 6. 7 o'clock at night, special teams meetings for about an hour. Same routine again on Thursday. So guys that might not be playing in the game will lift on Thursday mornings. Another 2-hour-long practice with all just situational type practice, going over all the different situations we might run into in a game. Friday morning meetings, an hour-long run-through and then a team meeting after that. And then obviously we've got our game. For an example, this first week, we're going to be leaving campus around 11:45 a.m. and we won't return until 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock a.m. on Sunday. Sunday involves more lifting, more meetings, really fixing all the potential issues you might have had in the previous game. Hopefully it's not a whole lot of issues. And study hall. And so talking about the player's schedule, it's demanding. It can be intimidating, especially for freshmen or first-year guys. But it's something that is done across the nation, and it's something that for us to make sure that we can prepare and be ready and win these games, we've got to make sure we're getting our guys in the right position to do so.
Let's talk about this week. Let's talk about the season opener on Saturday with Bethel. What should we, as fans, be looking for as keys to this matchup, and talk a little bit about Bethel and what they do?
Right. So Bethel, I'll be the first to say last year, most embarrassing loss of my career. Our team just hands down was not prepared for it, which ultimately, if we have lack of execution, it goes back on myself as a coach or our coaching staff. And so, keys to the game for us really going to be discipline, all three phases of the game, making sure that our guys can get the job done, they execute, do their job essentially. We're hoping that on the defensive side of the ball that we can stay disciplined and force some turnovers. We know that Bethel, the other number one team in the nation, rushing last year. So we know there's going to be times where they're going to get some big runs, or they're going to, have a cloud of dust after 3 straight runs and potentially get a first down. We know that's going to happen. But if we do our job, bend but don't break, force potentially some punts and field goals, we'll be in a good position. Offensively, we've got some athletes, like I mentioned earlier, and really our main game plan is to make sure that we can run the ball efficiently against these guys. They've got a very solid team, very solid defense, and then also efficiently throw the ball. We've got to do a good job on offense, making sure we don't necessarily just control the clock and keep our defense off the field, but we also control real time and making sure that our defense, if they do have a long drive, that they're going to be in a position to where they can, catch their breath and be prepared for the next drive. Special teams, this game, hands down, is going to be very, very important. Last year, again, it falls back on myself as a coach. We didn't do a good enough job with special teams. We allowed a punt return for a touchdown. There's one punt where we only had 10 guys in the field, so not a great substitution. And so that's going to be a huge part of this game, with us having two freshmen, kicker and punter, so Mortazavi and Fairhurst. Those guys are going to do a great job. And then just looking at our special teams in general this camp, with all the speed that we've got, we're hoping that we can, make some plays on that side of the ball as well.
You like offense, you like a little tempo, a little quick, fast pace, so we're going to throw you under the hot seat here.
Okay.
Got some questions to ask you,
All
as
right.
quick as you can. Favorite color?
Red.
Favorite food?
Pizza.
Favorite restaurant?
Ooh. Barrio.
Vacations, beaches or mountains?
Beaches.
Favorite holiday?
Christmas.
Best dressed football coach on your staff?
Myself. Hands
Favorite-
down.
Favorite candy bar?
Baby Ruth.
Favorite movie?
The Notebook. Or Saving Private Ryan, one of those two.
We're going to go with Saving Private
Yeah.
Ryan on that one. Favorite band, musical performer?
Right now, John Party.
Favorite TV show?
Lost.
And last TV show you binged watched?
Alone.
Okay. Folks, that's Coach Marc Benavidez, head football coach at Avila University, as he gears up for the 2020 season, kicking off this Saturday night at 7 o'clock?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. 7 o'clock Eastern for our Eastern viewers at Bethel College in North Newton, Kansas. Thank you all for joining us here. We'll head into our next interview with Coach Eric Majors.
Welcome back to Eye on the Eagles. I'm Darien Ryder here with Avila Volleyball head coach Eric Majors. How you doing, Coach?
Doing great.
All right, cool. So, entering your second year with the program, what do you think has changed between first year's team and this year's?
Well, there's definitely the comfort level with me, knowing what I expect. It was a really easy preseason, much easier than last year, just because every new coach, you're going to come with a new expectations, and so they know what I want, and it's been a lot easier.
Okay, this year you have a new offense. Can you kind of tell us what those changes are and how the girls have adapted?
So last year we probably ran the most conservative offense in America. I mean, we literally had one play, and we just wanted to be good at that one play. But this year we decided to take a playbook from the Chiefs and run about 1,000 different plays, and just to be completely unpredictable. So so far so good. At first it was difficult to pick up, but I think they understand how it works, and we saw some good results from it this weekend.
What are the strengths of this year's Eagles volleyball team?
So the biggest strength is we had a lot of returners. So we had 6 players who played a tremendous amount last year that returned, and in a lot of key positions, including both of our setters and all-conference middle and all-conference libero. So just having them back gives us so much more experience and just comfort level on the court together.
Okay, this past weekend you guys traveled to William Penn to participate in the tournament. What are the biggest takeaways after seeing your girls in action for the first time this season?
Well, I kind of looked at this tournament as almost a scrimmage because this year we're having the world's longest volleyball season, which goes all the way through April. And so the idea is we need to see a lot of people play, give them all a chance, see who's going to step up. And so every game we had a new lineup. Now there was a few people that played that repeated playing, but we had a lot of people in the first action ever as a varsity player. And I was really happy with what I saw, and a lot of people stepped their game up, and we lost one match in 3, but honestly we had late leads in those games that didn't turn into a win, but we were in every single game. And so I was really happy with our ability to adapt and just to have different players coming in.
Okay, this weekend you traveled to Culver Stockton to play in 2 games. How do you change those close games into wins?
So our lineup will be a little more consistent. We saw a few things in our offense that we need to tighten up, and we really focused on our side-out offense. We didn't really focus on our team defense that much until we just thrown into a tournament and we had to play defense against some high-level teams. But we got better as the tournament went on. But we're going to really focus on our team defense, and I'm really excited, and I really think that we're going to have a good weekend.
Okay, Coach, we have a few rapid-fire questions for you to answer here.
Okay.
Just to get to know you a little bit better. All right, so Coach Eric, what is your favorite color?
Oh gosh, blue.
What is your favorite food?
Pad Thai.
What is your favorite restaurant?
Oh my goodness. My favorite restaurant. I'm gonna say Q39 right now.
Okay, on vacation, are you beaches or mountains?
I'm gonna say mountains.
Favorite holiday?
St. Patrick's Day.
Best dress, favorite candy bar?
We'll say Kit Kat.
Favorite movie?
Ooh, it's gonna have to be Shawshank Redemption.
Favorite band and or musical performer?
Favorite band or musical performer? Wow. Man, I'm gonna have to say U2. I'm old.
Favorite TV show?
My favorite show of all time was Lost.
And what's the last TV show you binged?
I would say it was probably Game of Thrones.
Hello, we are here with Avila head coach of the women's soccer team, LaForge. How you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Oh. So, Coach, tell me, in your second year, this year you were ranked 4th in the preseason rankings. What does that say about your team, and how do you feel about it?
Well, I was very excited for the team to finally get recognized and respected in the conference, because that's voted for by all the coaches in the conference. So I think it just speaks to the work that they put in the last 2 years, and that they really do think that that's where we could finish again. So I'm excited for him, and it's very exciting for me too. You know, coming into this is my third season, so it's a big season as you can imagine. You know, I've got 3 years of players that have come in now, and so really trying to turn the tide. So that was a nice little feather in the hat to kind of start things off for year 3.
Well, yeah, with those players, last year you finished and you went to the semifinals of the conference tournament. How do you take that next step and win it all?
Yeah, great question. The players ask that all the time. You know, they want ring season. You know, and as do I. You know, I think it really comes down to, you know, obviously I try to bring in talented players and you know, to fill the shoes of those left that have left the program, you know, and graduated. But it really does have to come from the character of the players and the culture that I surround them in, and the environment that I provide. So trying to give them all opportunity to just be their best in all those categories. I think that's what's really going to propel us to really finishing it out instead of just, you know, getting to the top 4, which was amazing. Like, don't get me wrong, it was a great experience. It was very fun to be in the top 4. I'd say we probably surprised some people. I wasn't surprised, but you know, just really taking the culture and the chemistry that the players have, and that they really just believe in what we're doing. I think that's what's going to take us all the way.
Well, the season got off to a good start this past weekend at Bethany when you guys came out with a 4-3 victory in 2 overtimes.
Yes.
How did the team pull out the gritty win?
Again, like I kind of spoke about just now, the character. They believe in themselves. They believe in what we're doing to try to change the culture at Avila, you know, for the women's soccer team. And, you know, it just showed their determination. They didn't give up. It was hot and humid, but the other team was playing in the same weather. So, you know, they were just able to mentally get through it and truly never give up, because we scored both goals in the last couple minutes of each, you know, of regulation and then of overtime. So the difference between tying the game up and going into overtime, and then the difference between just walking away with a tie rather than the W. So just really, just their character. That's what they showed me this weekend. So.
Well, you guys are going to try and keep the ball rolling this weekend on Friday, traveling to North Newton to play Bethel College. What are the keys to win that game?
Well, I think it's going to be a tricky line to hold, because obviously we're pleased with the result that we got, but there's still plenty to work on that we saw during the Bethany game, since that was truly our first opportunity to play an opponent. Since we weren't able to do any scrimmages or anything like that before. So there were some things that we were exposed in some areas, and so you know, we'll really take that into consideration this week as we prepare for Bethel. Again, I think just, you know, as much as we can prepare, you know, the mentality, the strong mentality and the belief in each other and that chemistry that kind of keeps us together even when things aren't going well. I think that's what's really going to push us over the edge in any game that we go through. Bethel put a good whooping on us last year here at home, so I think for the players that were here for that, I think there's a bit of a chip on our shoulder for that. So you know, it's a bit of a revenge trip that we're on, and I'd like to see what that looks like from this group this year. So it'll be a mental game, I think, more than anything.
Okay. Well, Coach, we're going to ask you a few rapid-fire questions just so the fans can get to know you a little bit better.
I'm ready.
All right. First, what's your favorite color?
Ooh, purple, oddly enough.
What's your favorite food?
Oh, cookies.
What is your favorite restaurant?
Ooh, anything barbecue, but probably Jack Stack.
If you're on vacations, are you a mountain person or a beach person?
Definitely on the beach.
What is your favorite holiday?
Oddly enough, Halloween.
What's your favorite candy bar?
Snickers.
What is your favorite movie?
The Proposal.
Favorite band/music performer?
Ooh, you guys are gonna think I'm weird. Incubus.
Favorite TV show?
I don't know if I have one. Currently, it's Madam Secretary.
And what's the last TV show you've binged to watch?
Oh, it was Madam Secretary. Yeah, that was it.
Well, guys, there you have it with Coach K. LaForge. We hope you have a great season, and thanks for coming to talk to us.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. We are here with the head coach of the Avila men's soccer team, Stephen Hoffman. How you doing, Coach?
Doing great today. How are you?
I'm good. You've been here for 7 years. Can you kind of talk about the evolution of the team since you first arrived?
Yeah, I took over a team that was fairly solid back in 2014. There was a lot of good bones to the program. Back then we had a few more internationals than we do now. But over the last 7 years, especially going into the last couple years, we've really kind of honed in on the recruiting side of more local kids, trying to find the talent in the Kansas City area, and utilizing, I think, the talent pool that we have here in Kansas City. So over the last couple of years, we've really hit the KC area hard, and surrounded this program with a bunch of, I'd say, fairly local kids, which is good. I think for the community, for the school, and just for us as a program as well.
Okay, so what are the keys to success for the 2020 season?
I think for us, the first is staying healthy, of course. Not just with all the COVID stuff, but with injuries, certain players throughout the roster is just staying healthy, staying fit. Typically we're not that deep of a team coming off the bench, but we have a few players this year. I think more this year than in the past that can step in and help us out. But first is staying healthy, and I think second is the we over me mentality. Is we have to win and lose as a team, as a unit. We have to defend as a team, and we have to attack as a team. If we have players out there that are trying to do things themselves, and put themselves first in any way possible, that's going to be the downfall to us. But the we over me mentality is huge for us this year. We have to stay connected. We have to stay compact as a team. We have to stay. We have to stay together, top to bottom, in practices and games, off the field as well, just with all the COVID stuff going on. So I think those are the two main things for us, just within, if we want to give ourselves a chance about making postseason and making a run, we're in this together.
Okay, this past weekend you traveled to Lindesberg to play the Bethany Swedes, and you came away with a 1-1 tie. What did that game tell you about your team?
It told us a lot. Not having a preseason game was rough. Going in a little bit blind to the first game, it's a little bit of a coach's nightmare. But I think it really it showed us as a coaching staff that we have the potential to be successful. With very little time to really prepare. On the defensive side of the ball, we were solid. We were way better than we anticipated. We had some players that stood out that we were a little bit unsure of. We had a lot of, we had 7 new starters on the field going into this game. 1, 2, 3, 4 freshmen at least, if not 5. A couple transfers going in there as well, which is a positive thing for the program in a sense that it was a great foundation was set this past weekend for us. I'd like to see us keep the ball a little bit more, but on the defensive side, which that was our main focus all week going up to this, I thought we did very well. Freshmen, new guys, returners, I think stepped up and are buying into the system.
Okay, this weekend you guys are traveling to Bethel to play a game. What do you hope to see from your team this weekend?
I I think a lot of what we saw this past weekend, if we can be defensively solid going in, we're going to create chances to score goals. If we can continue to build off of what we did against Bethany, especially on the defensive side of the ball, we will have a lot of success, not just this coming weekend, but throughout the year. We do need to keep the ball a little bit more. I'd like to see us keep a little bit more possession, which will hopefully lead us to create a few more chances on goal. But I think going into this weekend, if we can again be defensively solid, we're going to give ourselves a chance to win the game.
Okay, Coach. We have a few rapid fire questions just so the fans can get a chance to know
There
you.
we go.
All right. What's your favorite color?
I'm going to say red.
Favorite food?
Italian.
Favorite restaurant?
Jasper's Italian.
If you went on vacation, are you more a mountains person or beach person?
Mountains 100%. Colorado all day long.
What's your favorite holiday?
Christmas.
What's your favorite candy bar?
Nutrageous.
Favorite movie?
Ooh, that's a hard one. Favorite movie? The first Rocky.
Okay. What's your favorite band or performer?
I don't know if I have a favorite. I'm more of an alternative music type of guy. I cannot honestly say I do not have a favorite.
Favorite TV show?
Let's go. The Simpsons.
And tell us the last show that you binge watched.
Probably Game of Thrones.
All right, well, there you have it with Coach Stephen Hoffman. And that will do it for our Eye on the Eagles this week. We'll see you next week. Tune in.